The Mercury Grand Marquis represents the middle of the line of the Ford Panther platform cars, sitting above the Crown Victoria but below the Lincoln Town Car. In this video, we will take a look at just about everything that makes this car tick. Sit back and enjoy. Hello and welcome to another episode of the in-depth review series where we take an older, once mainstream car and review it as if it were a brand new car. This is how Neighborhood Car Reviews digitally preserves these cars to enjoy for years to come. Today's review subject is possible because of the amazing folks over at Mohr's Motor Cars LLC. Make sure to check them out online as they always seem to have a very diverse inventory in rotation. The new 1998 Mercury Grand Marquis is here. It has been elegantly restyled. While it continues to offer ample interior room for your family and friends and provides an abundance of power, it also has a contemporary new look and a smoother ride. So you just might say it has everything it takes to keep up with your everyday, very active lifestyle. A freshened exterior, including new front and rear fascias, front and rear bumpers, restyled aerodynamic side view mirrors, along with a new grille, hood, decklid, moldings, and further enhance the Grand Marquis' image of subtle sophistication. The third generation Mercury Grand Marquis went on sale in late 1997 for the 1998 model year, with an evolutionary update to the exterior and interior. While the 1992 Crown Victoria was better received in the marketplace than the new for 1991 Chevrolet Caprice, its exterior design was not as popularly accepted as the Grand Marquis. The Grand Marquis outsold the Crown Victoria in 1994 and 1997, despite the latter's police and fleet sales advantage. Ford took note and kept the Grand Marquis' design language in place for 1998, while bringing much of it to the Crown Victoria to pivot away from the 1992 to 1997 Aero look. Our 1998 EN 114 Grand Marquis was produced at the St. Thomas Assembly Plant in Ontario, Canada, on May 8, 1998. Out of the entire 606,206 unit production run of the third generation, 1998 saw 134,155, or 22% of the units produced. Hey everyone, in today's latest installment of the in-depth review series, we are taking a look at yet another Panther car. It is no stranger to this channel. I am a fan of the Panther platform, so I like to review any and every one of them I can get across. Today's vehicle is a 1998 Mercury Grand Marquis. Now the Grand Marquis came in two trim levels, the base level GS and the up level trim, the LS. This is just a GS trim, and it is painted in light denim blue metallic, and it does feature the blue cloth interior. Now I've also got full pricing on screen, and a full options list is in the description box below, so make sure you check that out. Today's review is going to be a full in-depth review of the Grand Marquis. We're going to cover everything from the exterior to the interior, powertrain, performance, and everything else in between. Of course, as with all the Panther platform cars, the Mercury Grand Marquis is body-on-frame constructed and is rear-wheel drive with power coming from the cast iron block aluminum head constructed 4.6-liter modular single overhead cam 16-valve V8 engine. This engine features electronic engine controllers, sequential multi-port fuel injection, and a 9.0 to 1 compression ratio. In its standard tune, it creates 200 horsepower at 4,250 RPM and 265 pound-feet of torque at 3,000 RPM. It is capable of 215 horsepower and 275 pound-feet of torque with the optional dual exhaust setup. The base car can accelerate from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 9.2 seconds. 0 to 100 miles per hour comes in at 27.6 seconds, with a quarter mile hitting in at 16.8 seconds at 81 miles per hour. Top speed is electronically limited to 112 miles per hour. All Grand Marquis are equipped with a 19 US gallon fuel capacity, and they consume 5.6 gallons per 100 miles driven, with an estimated total driving range of 342 miles. EPA fuel economy figures are 15 miles per gallon in the city, 22 miles per gallon on the highway, and a combined average of 18 miles per gallon. The sole available transmission is electronically controlled 4-speed 4R70W automatic with manual overdrive cutoff. It does feature a 2.73 to 1 axle ratio and electronically controlled clutch. Steering on the car is power-assisted vehicle speed-sensitive variable rate recirculating ball with 3.4 turns lock-to-lock and a 39.1 foot turning radius, and features a 16.4 to 1 overall ratio. Wheels are the base level 16-inch black painted steel wheels with the deluxe chrome lacy spoke style locking wheel covers. The wheels are shot in 255/60 R16 Aspen Touring all-season tires. Brakes on the car are power-assisted 4-wheel disc brakes with dual piston front calipers. Up front we have 12.4-inch vented rotors with solid 11.2-inch rotors in the rear. While ABS and all-speed traction control are optional, a whopping $670 as they are equipped together, they are not installed on this car. Remember, it's 1998, that's 26 years ago, and those things are still optional equipment on most mainstream cars. And as we walk along the rear of the car, just as I do in all my videos, I'm going to cover it in more depth. But here's just an overall look. Just a very nice, elegant looking car. Very comfortable due to its large size and large wheelbase. These cars were always very comfortable. Alrighty, around the back, the Grand Marquis for 1998 was heavily restyled, and it gained these larger triangular Mercedes-Benz style tail lamp and turn indicator lenses, and gave up the sleeker bar look of the previous years. But it basically kept the same overall shape, overall roof line, a really nice, very nice coach line there. It goes all the way down to the large trunk into these tail lamps. They're all red, all incandescent. They house turn indicators, brake lights, and tail lights. A little bit different from the Crown Victoria in the fact that they do have these chrome bezels that go through, and they match up kind of with the chrome strips in the rear bumper. These back here do not illuminate, they're just reflectors. Of course, you have the Grand Marquis GS nomenclature back here. Inside the license plate plinth, you do have your reverse lights. And of course you have your Mercury badge up here, and then over here you do have the keyhole for the trunk release, Mercury badge right here, and then of course the other tail light. Now this car does not have the dual exhaust package. If it did, it'd have a little bit better horsepower and stuff. It's just a single exhaust. Just a really nice looking car. And as we walk along the profile of the car, I do have this on screen, the dimensions on screen, as you can see. The car is very large, and that owes to its comfort, ride comfort, and handling. A handling package was also actually available for this car, and it had stiffer springs and I believe more responsive steering. So that's pretty neat. This car does not have that, however. I think it was only available on the GS, or LS, I'm sorry. And as we walk along the front of the car is very traditional Mercury. It does have the waterfall grille, clear lens headlamps, and of course the Mercury logo. A lot of chrome on this car, a lot different than the Crown Victoria, but a lot less equipped than the Lincoln Town Car. Alrighty, now up front, not much has changed up here. It's basically the same as the previous years. I know they did a big redesign in 1998, I believe. But the Grand Marquis kind of retained its overall shape. It does have a more elegant look to it, however. It does keep the same sheet molding, however, for the fenders and all that kind of stuff in the doors. We do have these new styled fold-away mirrors here. And then coming down the hood, you'll see here we do have the cornering lamps here for when the headlights are on and the turn indicators are turned on. Those cornering lamps do illuminate to allow for better vision on a turn. And of course we do have the clear lens headlamps with complex reflectors, halogen high and low beams, and inset turn indicators here, all behind clear lenses. And we have the same chrome strips up front in the bumper, and a nice looking grille here. Just a pretty standard Mercury grille, a nice little waterfall grille. Does set that car apart from other Panther body cars. Alright, now before we get inside, let's take a look at see what we have for the keys. Just has the standard Mercury bladed key. It looks like a Ford key, but it has the Mercury logo on the key head. double-bladed key. Does have the security lock chip in it as well. And this car is also equipped with the optional keyless remote entry system. It was a pretty expensive option in its time, and basically what it allows us to do is remotely lock and unlock the vehicle doors. The buttons are simple: lock, unlock, panic alarm, and trunk release. In addition, this car is also equipped with Ford's keypad entry system, and it does have these 5 buttons on here, and they are numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0. And by entering your personal PIN, you can actually unlock the vehicle doors. Now, the vehicle can be locked just by pressing this. It'll sound the horn, the vehicle will lock. A single press unlocks the driver's door. Double press unlocks all 4 doors. So let's go ahead and open up the doors and see what we have inside. First things first, black door handles in this chrome surround. It looks really, really nice. And these doors do open up very nicely and very solidly. And here is the interior of the Crown Victoria, or Grand Marquis actually. As you can see, a very nice interior, very well preserved over time. It has held up very well. It does have an aftermarket radio, but as you can see, we have that dark blue cloth interior, padded vinyl up here on the door panels. You have a separate door pull here. Nice painted metal that looks like wood grain. You also have satin silver up here. You have an 8-way power driver seat here, just by adjusting the seat pictogram, just like on a Mercedes car. Door pulls here, all blue colored, power mirrors, power door locks, power windows with auto one-touch down for the driver, and your window lockout. Now we do have the trunk release here. This would have been the locking fuel door release here on the higher end cars. And of course we also have a mat pocket and some carpeting in the lower portion of the door. Stereo speakers here. And on the driver's side instrument panel, you have the panel brightness and dim switch. You do have your headlamp control here. And of course you also have your auto lamp control as well for automatic headlamps. Rear defroster control. Parking brake is here, parking brake release is here, hood release is down here, and of course we've only got the gas and brake pedal. This vehicle has a vinyl steering wheel, no leather here. It does have a tilt wheel, however. As you can see, your power adjustments aren't on here because it's on the door. But taking a look at the seats, they adjust as individual bucket seats, but it is a bench seat. The cloth has held up very well over time. We do have high adjustable head restraints on this car. We've also got high adjustable seat belts as well. The cloth is very nice, very soft, very supple. The foam padding inside, very, very comfortable. Just a very nice highway cruiser. And of course, we can also lift up the armrest here. And it does have the ability to seat 3 because we have a center lap belt here. However, that mostly wasn't used. So yeah, there's the interior of the Grand Marquis. Let's go ahead and hop inside and check out the rest of it. Alright, now we're going to pan through the interior. We're going to show more details. As you can see here, nice fluidic power steering. Of course, as I stated before, it is not leather wrapped. It's just a vinyl steering wheel. It does have that new Ford steering wheel. They did away with the brick steering wheel and went ahead with this. We've seen it in the Mercury Mountaineer and the Ford Explorer and all that kind of stuff as well. Just a little bit nicer looking steering wheel. Still has a massive airbag cover, Mercury logo here in the center. And the only controls are your cruise control. So over here on the left, you have off and on. And then of course you have the resume, set, accelerate, and coast. It's been that configuration on Ford since the 70s at least. And then over here we do have a multi-function control stalk here. It does control our wiper washer control, turn indicators, and of course our high beams and flash to pass. 4-way flasher controls up here, and of course we have a column mounted shift lever. And facing us is a 3 gauges with actually 3, looks like 3 instruments, but it's actually 5 gauges. No tachometer here, but right here in the center we have a 120 mile per hour speedometer. And over to the left we have a voltmeter and our fuel gauge. And then over here on the right hand side we have our coolant temperature gauge and our oil pressure gauge and assorted warning lights. And the check engine light on this car is on due to a faulty O2 sensor. And if you want the overdrive off, a small green light turns on up here, and that is your OD off. And at the time of the recording, this vehicle has pretty low miles, 129,168 miles to be exact. All right, moving over the top of the dash, as you can see, it's in really, really good shape. The vinyl is almost perfect. It's not faded, split, cracked, worn, or anything like that. Taking a look over here, we do have passenger side adjustable air vents, and you can turn them off and on. Big airbag cover here. We have the Mercury Grand Marquis logo here with the precision traction control logo mounted inside this large band of metal wood. Nice large glove box, complete with the owner's manual and everything like that. And a thing to note, this glove box door is metal. It's pretty sturdy, and the glove box does lock. All right, moving down the center here, as you can see here, we do have this aftermarket radio. It does have Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, Bluetooth streaming, USB inputs. You can add cameras to it. You do your equalizers here, which is pretty nice. System settings here. Then we have, of course, we can go back to home. And then we do hands-free, tuner, so AM, FM, all that kind of stuff. It's made by Boss. It's like a Boss. It's very, very nice. At first I was kind of questionable about it, but its fit and finish is really good and it's solid. So, you know, it's pretty nice. Now down here we do have a clock. It is a digital clock, and the time is correct. And down below we have manual air conditioning. So over here we have our fan speed controls here, temperature selector here. It's just a manual system. It's not automatic climate control. And then we have our panel distribution. So we have max AC, normal, or standard vent. Turn the whole system off. Floor, you have a mix for floor and defroster, and then a full defroster. And of course your rear defroster is over there to the left of the steering wheel. And I stated this band of wood here, it matches up with the doors. It runs the entire length of the dash, all the way from the driver's side to the end of the passenger side. It is painted metal, and it does look like wood. It's pretty decent. Now down here, inside here, we have a cigarette lighter, ashtray, and 2 cup holders. Down here we have an aftermarket cup holders as well. And here are the USB ports for this aftermarket radio. So that's pretty nice. We have one for charging and then one for the CarPlay and Android Auto. Taking a look overhead, we have just a manually dimming rear view mirror. And we have nice large sun visors, and they're equipped because this car has the deluxe light group. We do have illuminated vanity mirrors. And of course the sun visors do swing out, but they do not slide out, but you get decent coverage with these large sun visors. Also overhead we do have grab handles, height adjustable seat belts, and in the ceiling, individual reading lights. It's a very nice touch. So there you go, that is the interior of the Grand Marquis. Alrighty, let's take a look at the rear seat now. Open up the doors, same nice solid bank vault style doors. It opens up to a very cavernous rear seat. As you can see on screen, the headroom and legroom is pretty nice for this car. Take a look at the seats in detail. Let's take a look at the door panels real quick. Door panels have the same materials as the front doors. Nice padded vinyl up here. Individual door pulls, the existing or that same painted aluminum. Door pulls, window switches, ashtrays of course, padded armrest, and down here we have that carpeting. All right, let's take a look at the seats in detail. The seats are fixed in place. They do seat 3 across. We do have 3-point belts on the outboard seats, integrated head restraints on the outboard seats, but we only have a lap belt and no fold down center armrest in this car. These large humps back here house the rear speakers. And as you can see, we've also got rear positional reading lights. You can actually move them this way and move that way and stuff like that, which is really nice. And then overhead we do have our grab handles, coat hooks, and all that kind of stuff. And we've also got seat back mat pockets. Alright, now there are 3 ways to open the trunk in this car. First way is by pressing this trunk button in the driver's side door panel. The second way is going at it old school, taking the key, sticking it in the trunk, and then turning it to the right of the car, and that'll pop it. Or you can use your keyless entry key fob and press and hold the blue button, and that pops the trunk open. And opening the trunk reveals a massive amount of storage. The trick to the Panther cars was the cavernous trunk. Very, very deep. You can hold everything in this car. It does have the spare tire up on the shelf up here, but there's still room to spare up here as well. And to close the lid, just grab it. There you go. Alrighty, and that is the detailed in-depth review of the 1998 Mercury Grand Marquis. We hope you found the review informative, and if you did, please comment down below. Also, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. Check out our Facebook page at facebook.com/neighborhoodcarreviews and our Instagram channel at BrentsOJ1. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.